Hey, everyone. Get this started. Give me a few minutes while I get the other platforms up and going. Okay. Hey, everyone. This is Marjorie Mallard, your childcare business franchise consultant. Um, going to be just putting on some of my other platforms here to go live. Should be working, but it isn't, and I don't know why. All right, we're going to be getting started in a minute. Just getting the other platforms here up and going. Welcome, everybody. Welcome. Welcome on this Wednesday afternoon. Hope everybody's having a great day. Come on in. Come on in. Let's have a juicy conversation around operating a childcare program with some smart risk protection strategies. So let me get it started here on Instagram. Let's just give it a minute. I want to give it a minute to get everybody in, and then on all of the platforms as well. I hate having to type in on these phones. My fingers never make it work. Hey, everybody. Hope everybody's having a great, what's today? Tuesday or Wednesday? Oh my God. It's going by so fast, guys. A great Wednesday. It's going by too quick. I hope I said that right. I really hope I did. Oh man. So we're going to be talking about, I want to know like if there's anybody out there that is starting a daycare. If you guys are starting a daycare, can you put a comment in the chat just like say starting, just put starting, put the word starting if you're in the process of starting the daycare. And if you own a daycare, can you put a comment in the chat and just say own so that I know? I'm just curious to see like who's on the live since that's what we're going to be talking about. Okay. So let me know if you are starting or if you own a daycare. Let me know. Put it in the chat. Put it in the chat. Give me a second, guys. I'm just putting it up on Instagram. Okay. All right, all right, all right, all right. I don't know. This thing is supposed to be working here. Should be doing manually, but it's not working that way. So I hope that it's working this way. So everybody, welcome. Thank you, everybody on TikTok for coming in. I see you guys rolling on in. Thank you, thank you, thank you. My people over here on Facebook and LinkedIn. I can't see you because I'm using a streaming device. But anyway, let's see here. But anyway, thank you for hopping on in. So for those of you who are new to me, who don't know who I am, I'm Marjorie Mallard. I am your childcare business franchise. Oops. All right. That ain't working. Your childcare business franchise consultant. And what does that mean? Sometimes it makes me think because a lot of people when they get into, hey Barbara, thank you for joining, come on in. A lot of people when they get in touch with me, they ask me the questions like, what is it that you do? Are you a coach? Can you help me if I have a daycare? The ones that want to start, they're like, can you help me start a daycare? So let me tell you exactly what I do and my backstory so that you guys know. Okay. So I am a childcare business franchise consultant. Reason being, I help start up daycares. Hello, Barbara. I help start up daycares and I help daycares that are already in existence grow their brand. Okay. and franchise consultant, because for those of you who have multiple locations already and want to grow on a franchise level, I can assist with that as well. For those of you who just want to get started, just getting your feet wet, okay, in the childcare business, I help with that. Now, this is the thing, okay? I am a child care business coach, okay? I don't just give you like the one, two, threes for how to get a daycare started, because, you go online, you Google, and you find that. All right. What I do is I make sure that your foundation is set up strong, sound. I give you the knowledge that you need. I give you the expertise that you need to be able to grow or solve challenges in your child care program or start a child care program. I am a former child care business owner. I have owned and operated my own multiple child care programs for 24 years. Okay, just closed my last one the end of 22. Okay, so for 24 years, I have owned and operated my own, from a home daycare to a center. I am now, my brand has now gone to the corporate level, which is known as the franchise. So that's where the franchise business consulting comes into place. So for those of you, I want to talk to you guys tonight who either you're thinking about starting up a daycare business or you have a childcare business. However, maybe you're working in it as a director, maybe you are an owner. You could be either one, but you've really never thought about risk implications involved. Okay, so this is what I've done. I spent the past couple of days really great going out and speaking to a lot of childcare business owners, really finding out a lot about the needs of what's in the community, um, getting people's ideas as far as where they want to grow. Home daycares want to become centers. Center owners, just center directors and teachers want to be center owners, so many different things. But I'm going to be starting a series on here that starts tonight, that deals with risk protection strategies. Okay. Risk protection strategies. And that is important for all of you who are just coming into the childcare business. Before you do anything, I advise you, and this is free advice, okay, to think about risks associated with the business. Because when you start, you want to succeed, you want to scale, you want to grow, you want it to be prominent. And the way that you do that is you have to take a look at the big picture concept, not just getting that license, not just doing the right curriculum, not just filling your capacity, okay, but the bigger picture. You are now going to be a business owner, so you've got to think in terms of business. So before I get started, just want to shout out a couple of people saying hi. Hey, Beth, Marley, Miguel, Joanne, Alex, Kiki, to Jess, Heath Roy, Jelena, CC Streets, Mari, Abra, Cola, and a whole lot more. Jessica, Jessica, Alicia, Queen. Thank you guys for hopping on. Okay. So again, I've owned and operated childcare businesses. I grew my own daycare. Was my very first daycare program was 24 years ago out of the garage of my house. I took my two-car garage, put the cars in the street, and fixed it to make it a livable space. And then I turned that two-car garage into a daycare, which I operated out of for 10 years. For 10 years. With that, I've had multiple, while running that, I've had other daycares that I've owned and that I started and that I've operated. So I come to you with a lot of experience and expertise. But tonight, I want to talk to you guys about thinking smart, like really thinking risk protection. If you're thinking about starting your daycare business, a couple of points that I want you to think about. And if you already have a daycare, I want you to think about these points as well. If you're thinking about starting, again, don't just think about getting your license, dealing with the state, going to your orientation, getting your toys, painting the colors, you know, getting all the things that you need for the kids to play. Don't think about just that. And if you are presently in a program, okay, I want you to also think about the business end and protection. Okay. That's what this talk is all about tonight. It's all about protection. Childcare industry is a major risk industry. It has a lot of risks involved. Think about it. I mean, really, we're taking care of lives. We're taking care of children, which should be, right? And we still choose to get into it. Like if I could do it all over again, I would. I loved every minute of me working in my childcare space, right? In my childcare businesses. Um, but the smart way to get your business to be sustainable, meaning to be around for a long period of time, and to scale and grow so that you can make the money that you want, so that you could impact the lives of the children the way that you want to impact the lives of the kids, right? And, to be that pillar in your community that everybody comes to is to think big picture, think risks, and then you want to what's called mitigate it, which is really create some strategies around them so it does not happen. Okay, so that it does not occur to you. So I'm going to be giving you some pointers on this. I really want you to think about it really deeply. Okay, really deeply, because it's a serious thing. It's a serious thing. I did ask, if you're just coming in, see if I can pull up the comments. If you're just coming in, if you are wanting to start a daycare over here on TikTok, if you're looking to start a daycare program, can you just put in the comments start? And if you own a daycare business, put in the comments own. Okay? I just want to know what my audience, who's in my audience here, and what you guys are thinking about. As I speak to you. And over here, LinkedIn, Facebook, if you're thinking about starting a program, in the comments, leave them for me below. And even if you're listening to the replay, okay, write down in the comments start or own. Either you're starting or you're owning. Okay. Now, this is the thing. When you are owning your childcare business, you have to position yourself. You are coming against, you're dealing with a lot of people. You're going to be dealing with a lot of people, or you are dealing with a lot of people. Either it be parents, either it be people coming in off the street for a tour, either it be your team members, or people you don't hire but are coming into your facility or your home to look for a job, or even state regulatory agencies, which there are so many different state regulatory agencies. So you have your licensor, that your state that's coming in, but then you've got the food program, right? You've got other regulatory agencies that are going to be coming into your program, so that to make sure you're in compliance. So when you're thinking about starting your program or growing it or sustaining it, I want you to sit back and think about what could possibly go wrong. Like, that's the best way for me to put it. Okay. Now, this may be a scary thought, but this is the truth about the matter. You don't want to think about what could go wrong when it goes wrong and then you don't have a solution for it. Okay. The best thing to do is to think about what could go wrong so that you could create a solution in the event there's a situation. Then you're not caught with your tail in between your legs and you just don't know what to do and you're chasing things all over the place. All right. So that is what risk mitigation is. I actually went and I wrote down a definition for you guys. Risk is, right? We know events or outcomes that could impact either the safety of the children or the entire program. That's how serious it is. It can either impact the safety of the kids or the entire program. And you don't want to have yourself in a situation where you're confronted with that. When I was in my childcare program and I first started, no one told me this. I remember going to the orientation. I remember filling out the package, and that was my biggest like concern. Okay, making sure I got all the paperwork together for what the state needed of me so that I could get my license. That was like my biggest thing. I was more concerned about that than anything else. Anything business operations, I wasn't thinking about that because I didn't know the truth, which was I thought I was just going to get my license and I'm going to be playing with some kids and teaching them their ABCs and one, two, threes, and we're going to color and we're going to do all this other good stuff. And I'm going to be running this good old hunky dory business and everybody's going to have a good time. Right. But there's a business component to business ownership that I did not know about when I first started. So, as an educator, I am on here to share that information with you. So, if you think of yourself as the owner, either you're going to be the provider or you're going to hire someone to work for you or with you, okay, you want to think about anything that could possibly go wrong legally, right? Health wise, safety wise, compliance, regulatory agency wise, like anything that really can go wrong in a program. List them down. Listen, it's wise to be proactive. List down all the things that could possibly be potentially hazardous to your business, hazardous to your program, hazardous now to the way that you're going to operate or determine whether or not you're even going to be able to keep your license. So, as I was going out into my area today and speaking to a lot of childcare business owners, they shared with me that they received these policies and procedures from the legal team. But the thing is this, right? If you're going into a franchise, the legal people who write the policies and procedures, they've never taken care of kids. Okay? They don't know what it's like to care for kids. They know the law. So the policies and the procedures are written in that aspect. You, as the business owner, need to make sure you CYA cover your, and it's not apples. You know what I'm talking about. Okay? And think about everything that can potentially possibly happen. You want to make sure you cover the law, but you're the one that knows something about taking care of kids. You know what's reality and what isn't reality. So you want to form rules, guidelines, and policies around your realities. And what is not reality, you want to create some sort of a systematic format so that it can work and your rules and guidelines can be followed by others who are caregiving in your program, your teachers, your admin, okay? All of those, I mean, there's so many other people that comes in. Even in a program, you have people coming in to provide special services for children. Okay. So that's what I mean by risks involved. Just think of worst case scenario. And I hate to say it, but listen, better you think of it. And it's like, when you get a brand new car, and I always use this analogy, when you get a brand new car, you go and get insurance. You don't wait for an accident and then get insurance. No, you got a brand shiny new car. And when you drive that car off the lot, you got full coverage, right? This is the same situation. Write yourself a list of what could possibly take place within the program. And now you want to think about, okay, this is what could take place. What would I do, or how can I position myself, or what do I tell the people that are working for me to do in the event this situation happens? In the event this situation happens. And when you have that information, you are now creating your policies and procedures. For those of you, I'm going to share a story with you, okay, who are looking to open up childcare centers. You're going to hire a director, maybe, maybe not. Maybe you're going to hire an assistant director, and you are going to be the director. You need to make sure you put some financial management risk policies and procedures in place. There is such a thing as greed. There is such a thing as people trying to steal your money. I'm sorry, but this is the truth. And I'm that person that gives it to you good, bad, ugly, and raw. Okay? There are people that will try to steal your money, your tuition that is coming in, not docking, not writing it down the right way, not charging correct rates, not logging it where it should be logged. So there's a system that you need to make sure that you oversee and that you have somebody oversee the overseer, okay? So that you have policies and procedures in place so that this doesn't happen to you. Plenty of times people have attempted and have tried. I've spoken to providers who have gotten like robbed blindly because of this. In childcare centers, it's a real thing. People got to put cameras over the cash box or whatever, but now we're not even using that. It's credit cards, right? And for those of you who don't have an automatic system and you're doing it manually, you better make sure that your systems are like put together so that you could make sure you're getting every penny of what somebody else is charging that person who came in for a tour for registration fee. Okay, that tuition that that person wanted to pay in advance without speaking to you about. I mean, there's just so many different case scenarios that could take place. So when I say risk, I mean all of like risk involves all of these things, all of these things. Even when I was in my program, so as we know, most childcare businesses have cameras, right? Most childcare businesses have cameras, and most owners are sitting at home or wherever they are and they're watching the cameras. Hey, I was one of them, all right, watching the cameras. But if you don't have a policy and a procedure for the people who are working in your program to follow, you're going to have major issues and heart attacks watching those damn cameras. Okay. You're going to see so many things being done that's going to make your hair stand while you're watching those cameras. And that's why you need to have policies and procedures around it. Even in your daycare home. Now, in the daycare home, it's even more susceptible if you have one or two people. Like I had a whole team of people working in my daycare homes. Okay. Let me just shut this off. I had a whole team of people that were working in my daycare homes. And I had multiple daycare homes. So I would go from site to site, home to home, to manage to watch. You can't be every place at the same time. And in a daycare home, people are more, the relationships are built tighter than with the provider than they are in a center. Okay. Because you're in a home space. Okay. So sometimes things could happen, right? Sometimes things could happen. Parents could say things. Parents could give a little extra to the provider without you knowing. Is that something that you want to be allowing? Okay. If you want to allow it, you allow it. If not, not, but you need to have some sort of a policy around it. Or else what happens is, and I've known this to be a fact, okay, in your child care program, you've got parents going to the teachers or the staff members or the assistants and asking them to babysit on a Friday night. Are you going to allow that? Is that something that you want to let happen in your program? Okay, that is a very sticky situation. In my child care program, I had a policy for that. It wasn't allowed. It was not allowed. And when they left, there was a policy. They had to be a certain period of time before they were able to. They couldn't just quit today and start babysitting tomorrow. Like there was a timeline, okay, before they were able to do it. And policies and procedures, even you can even have an attorney take a look at them to make sure that they're legal, that they're law, to make sure that it is something that will hold up in a court of law, if needed to be. Think business, think business ownership. So, again, when we're thinking about risks, you're thinking about any action that could put your business under, any action that could jeopardize the health and safety of a child, any action. Here's a real good one when it comes to that for children. Okay. Maybe you want to make sure that it's a policy of the program that there's always two adults. Okay, when a child goes to the bathroom, when a child is in the classroom, when the school building is closing, things of that nature. Maybe you want to make sure there's always two adults, and there's a reason for that. There's a reason for it. So these are things that I want you to think about when you're thinking childcare business ownership. Don't just think, I'm going to make $100, $150 a kid. I'm going to have 12 kids, and this is how much money I'm going to make. And I'm going to have all these toys, and I'm going to have this, I'm going to have that. I want you to think risk mitigation. Okay. I want you to think that. Do you know if your LLC address has to be the address of the child care center? No, it does not. Depends upon your state, though. Okay. So it depends upon the state that you're in, and I'm assuming you are within the US. Okay, but from what I know, no, it does not. Let me see if I have any other questions. Nady says, I didn't think about that. Yeah, a couple of things for you to think about. Okay. Nady, your daycare startup. All right, awesome. I hope that this is like bringing some light to you, as you're thinking about it. So I never forget when I first started my first program, and it was just me, and the kids. And then I was maxed out with just me before I had to get an assistant. Right. And then, the sugar honey iced tea, as I like to call it, from working around with kids, hit the fan with a parent, making some accusatory statements. And I was like, whoa, whoa, wait a minute, wait a minute. And then you're like, okay, how do I handle this? What do I do? Then I found out later down the line, had I had it written in a policy, then this sugar honey iced tea that I went through would have never have even happened. Would have never have even happened. Even if you're in a daycare home, if you're in a daycare home and you're by yourself, you better make sure that you have policies in place. Don't think because you're in your house that you're good. Okay. And that was my misconception. My misconception was, I'm in my house. This is my house. I'm good. But guess what? During business hours, my home was not my house. Okay. It was a licensed child care facility that had to follow certain rules and regulations. So you need to put rules, regulations, policies, procedures, risk measures, all of that stuff in place, even if it's in your house. If it's in your house, it's even more so because, like, I think it's even more so risky because you got people walking up in your driveway, coming up into your home. Like, you don't want slip and falls. Like, think about these people. You don't want things like that happening, right? A kid could go to shut a door, their finger gets caught in it. Like, things happen. Health and safety risks. Things happen. Now, you're not in a building, you are in your home. Okay. So imagine where that could go. Just literally imagine where that could go with the wrong parent. So that's why you want to think about all of the risks involved, all of the risks, even something as simple. I never forget when licensing used to come to my house and they used to test my water. And I used to be like, why are you testing the water temperature? Why? Because you know what? A child can very easily, you know how kids are. They only put one handle. They don't put two handles. They put one. And if they turn on the hot water and it's below, over and above a certain temperature and their hands get burnt, okay, you got the wrong parent. Imagine where that's going to go for you. All right. That's why you want policies and procedures for all of those risks. And if you're in a center, same thing. Same thing. All right. So, guys, shoot me any questions. Please put the questions in if you have any questions. I see over here on my Facebook, I believe, Miss Melody. Thank you for joining. Grace, Frazier, and Barbara. Thank you guys for coming. Listen, I want you to think about this. Think about policies and procedures like this. Policies and procedures are your best friend. When you start a program and you want to grow it, you want to stick and operate in accordance to your policies and procedures. If there's a situation with a parent, you don't want to just come to the out to the parent and says, "No, listen, we don't do things that way. I'm sorry, it can't just be done." No, you want to be able to pull out your policies and say, I'm sorry, Miss Such and Such, but according to our policy that you sign here, right during our onboarding system, it even states we don't follow blah, 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 blah. Okay. If it's not written in black and white, it is not real. Okay. I don't care how nice your parents are. Okay. It doesn't make a difference. All right. There was a very smart woman once upon a time, about 20 years ago, that told me something that I would never, ever forget. And her words to me were, parents will be your best friend until something happens to their children. And then guess what happens? Yeah, they flip on you in a 360 quick. That friendship is out the window. So, this is why you need to protect yourself with policies and procedures prior to starting your business. And if you've already started your business, it's okay. It's never too late, but get it started. Get it started and get it written now. I'm hosting a 2-day intensive training on this. Okay. Not only are we going to be talking about policies and procedures, we're going to talk about risk mitigation. We're going to talk about contingency plans. All of that you need in your program for your program to be successful. My prayer for you, you never need to use it, but better to have it than not have it and something goes down. Okay. Even with staff members, I could tell you 101 different stories, 1,001 different stories. Okay. If you're in a center, you better have like a whole slew, a Bible filled of policies and procedures, and not just written by people in corporate, but written by yourself so that you know exactly what they are. So I'm hosting a 2-day intensive training on this, on policies and procedures, risk mitigation, contingency plan. They can change the way your business operates and you do business on a professional level. I never forget when I first started my program, and the parents were all so nice. And I was like, oh my God, I'm just loving this. The parents are so nice. And they used to bring me treats and blah, 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 and all this kind of stuff, and rave my reviews and say I was the best, yada, yada. And then when that one time, that one thing hit the fan, okay, that was like out the window. Okay. It was, it just made life difficult for me. I don't want to operate like that. And that's when I found out about having policies and procedures that I could have put in place. And it was the hardest thing for me because now I now have to go to these parents that were really sticking by me and implement these policies and procedures. So start them from the beginning. Okay. Don't put yourself in that situation. If you're starting up a program and you're thinking about, okay, what colors am I going to have? What kind of toys am I going to have? How am I, well, what am I going to do for my curriculum? Think about risks. Think about risks and think about how you're going to train other people who are working with you to protect you because you're the business owner from those risks. Okay. Think about that because without that protection and the strategies behind that, you're not going to be able to do what you do best, what you're passionate about, which is operating and running your childcare business and running and loving on those children and making an impact on their lives because you're going to be stressed. So get rid of the stress and think about your policies and procedures that you're going to put in place. Okay. So for those of you who are on TikTok, okay, please, if you want more information, you could go to childcare360.info/intensive, or you can very easily go to my bio, my TikTok bio, which you'll see there's a link there for Instagram. And over on Instagram, there's a link for the 360, okay, intensive training. So you could read more information on there. And then for those of you on Facebook, and LinkedIn, the QR code is there and scrolling on the bottom. Now, there's a reason why I decided that I want to call this 360. I want to call this 360 because there are childcare business owners or even those looking to start daycare businesses that need a 360-degree transformation. They need to be revived, refreshed, renewed with some systems that's going to let them sleep at night, protect them, and let them do what they love doing best, what they're passionate about. That's the reason why we get into this business, because we have a passion that we want to fulfill. Okay. So at Childcare 360, I'm going to be giving you the system behind what you need to make this happen. Now, who is 360 for? If you're thinking about starting a childcare business, 360 is for you. If you presently own and operate a childcare business or just own a childcare business, the 360 2-day intensive is for you. If you are a director or an employee within the childcare business administration level only, then 360 2-day intensive is for you. This is going to be a training like no other. I am real and I am raw when I do training. I'm going to give you templates, resources, guidelines to follow, structures that you need to implement an entire system so that when you walk away from this 2-day intensive, you're going to have a full blown out policy and procedure with implementation strategies that you can implement into your program on Monday morning, or that you can place into your plan with your application packet for those of you who are looking to start up a childcare business. Okay, this is an event that you don't want to miss. So we have people flying in from all different states. I'm about to secure a hotel right now in the city where the 360 2-day intensive is going to be. Okay, but it is going to be held on May 17th, which is a Friday, and May 18th, which is a Saturday. And it is a full 2-day training where we're going to be sitting in small groups, roundtables, and boardroom conference style, and writing out, after I give you the teachings, writing them out. So this is something that is going to be way valuable for you. If you're completing a childcare business application, you need to submit policies and procedures with it, right? Don't buy them. Please don't buy them. Okay, please, please, I'm imploring you, do not buy them. They need to be customized to your vision, customized to the way you see yourself operating your child care program. The policy procedure that daycare wrote over there is not going to be the same and effective for you. Okay. So this is why I'm going to be teaching how to customize them, because truthfully, after you've done one, you're going to have to do multiple. You are going to have to do multiple. So I love the fact that within this 2-day intensive, I'm going to have small groups. So I'll be able to walk around from table to table. Okay. You'll be sitting down with other entrepreneurs. You'll be brainstorming, putting your heads together, and creating it together as a group. There's nothing like creating strategies with other professionals. Okay. So I hope that was helpful to you guys. I hope that I shed some light on the importance of your policies and your procedures, what it can do for you. Guys, it truly can change the culture of your business. It can change the dynamics of the way your parents think about paying you, dropping their children off, picking their kids up, speaking to your team members, walking through your home, like so many different things. You know, I had the pleasure of speaking to some people and they've said to me, "Oh, I don't have those issues yet, but I used to have them." And if you're going to be in business for a long time, guess what? They may come back around. Okay? They may come back around. So, again, anybody have any questions before I end our live? I don't see any. I just saw the only question about the LLC. And Nadi, let me tell you this. If you're going to be starting a childcare business, think higher than LLC, okay? It's okay to start out with your LLC in the beginning. Hopefully, you said for a childcare center, okay? I would really think, listen, I'm just going to tell you how it is. I would really think about that LLC business if you're a childcare center, okay? If you're a childcare center, LLC is not for you. I'm just letting you know that. All right. You want to think higher than that. Speak to your tax professionals, speak to your attorneys, and they will tell you why. And most importantly, we're talking about risk mitigation here. LLC means limited liability corporation, limited liability. So I hope that that sheds some light. Okay, you're in Illinois. Yeah, you want full coverage, honey. You don't want limited liability. If you need to start out as that and give yourself like a little bit of time, because with the other corporations, you've got more payments that need to be made on a tax level, on an insurance level. There's so many different insurances that you need to capture and that you need to have, and it's going to cost you more. And I understand that you may not be able to do that if you're first starting because you want to watch your dollars. So if you're going to start out that way, then start out that way, but definitely make it a goal. Definitely make it a goal to get out of the LLC, okay, and switch over to one of the corporations, okay, like an S corp, okay. Speak to your tax professional. Speak to your attorney. I'm not an attorney. I'm not an attorney's advisor. I'm not a tax professional, okay. But I'm going to tell you this: when I first started my daycare business, I was a DBA, okay. I was doing business as, and as soon as I found out about a lot of other things, I switched. In my home daycare, I was an S corp, and still to this day, okay, and still to this day. So I hope that that helps you guys. Looking for any more questions. All right, everyone. I thank you so much for hopping onto my live. As I said, I'm going to be doing a series on this. So we're going to be talking a little bit more. I would love to get to meet you guys in person, okay, in the Atlanta, Georgia area. So on May 17th and May 18th, if you go to childcare, www.childcare360.info/intensive, it has all the information there, all the different levels, the payment plans, what we're going to be doing, all of that information is going to be there. So www.childcare360.info. Did I say that wrong? I think I did. www.childcare360.info/intensive. Okay. And again, what you can do is go over to in TikTok, go to my bio on my profile, click the Instagram link, and it brings you directly over to my Instagram page. And in my Instagram bio, you'll just click the link there. In TikTok, it's not clickable. So all I can do is give you the information of www.childcare360.info/intensive. All right. Thank you so much, guys, over on TikTok. Thank you for joining. If you have any questions, okay, about anything that I've said after the fact, send me a DM, but send me a DM on Instagram, please. Because I don't know, TikTok sometimes it be getting lost over here. So send me a DM over on my IG if you have any questions pertaining to startup. If you want to meet with me, if you want to know what 360 is about, if you want to know whatever it is, okay? Send me a DM over on Instagram. And again, on TikTok, go to my profile page. You'll see my Instagram link in my bio on TikTok, and that will bring you directly over to my IG. All right. Thank you guys over on TikTok. Have a blessed evening. I'll see you in my next live. And for you ladies over here on the other platforms, Facebook, LinkedIn, all that other good stuff. Thank you for joining and thank you for your support. Melody, I can't wait to connect with you. I think we're going to be speaking really soon to do our live together. Hey, Grace, I hope all is well. Blessings, blessings. It's been a while. Frazier, thank you for hopping on. And Barbara, thank you for hopping on as well. All right, guys, be blessed. Everyone have a great evening. I'll see everybody on the other side of success. Have a great one.